I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Midnight Run's the best new movie in years, says the San Francisco Chronicle. A non-stop belly full of laughs, says Jeffrey Lyons.
I can't do this!
De Niro and Grodin are terrific. And Roger Ebert calls it completely original, a real surprise.
Grodin is better than Eddie Murphy, and for me, that's good.
This better be good.
This is very good.
One word?
One word and you're dead.
Fabulous.
Midnight Run, rated R. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review, and this is another Patreon review, this time for Albin. What are my thoughts on Midnight Run? First off, thank you for that. If anyone's ever interested in requesting reviews or re-reviews or any other videos or topics, you'd either join me on my Patreon or send in the request directly via my PayPal. The links are down below in the info box. If not, no worries. If so, thank you. But Midnight Run, I wouldn't say I grew up on this film, but I have seen this film before, and it's an entertaining film. I never saw the made-for-TV sequels or whatever it was. I know it didn't have Robert De Niro or Charles Grodin in them, which then made me go, what the hell was the point, but whatever. I just, because the film was popular, so I just, hey, we got the property, we gotta do something. This is one of those films I'm surprised they haven't remade. Not saying I want a remake, just they're so desperate for ideas, I'm surprised they haven't remade it. I mean, in today's age. Probably have Kevin Hart and The Rock or something. Or Kevin Hart and, I don't know, Gerard Butler or something. But the story of the film, Robert De Niro, he used to be a cop, now he's a bounty hunter, and Joe Pantoliano calls him and says, I need you, I'm desperate. This accountant who embezzled millions of dollars from the Chicago mob, he skipped bail, I need him in 5 days. Robert De Niro says, okay, give me this chunk of money. Joe Pantoliano doesn't want to, ultimately he does. He's able to find Charles Grodin, but then getting him back, it's a lot of trouble. And he's dealing with another bounty hunter, John Ashton, who is in Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. I love the running joke. Marvin, watch out! If you don't know what I mean, go see the movie, because it's a great flick. If you know what I mean, yeah, it's one of my favorite bits. Marvin, look out! And this is a movie that was pretty fun watching it yet. I thought Robert De Niro's one, I'm not sure if it's first time, but it's definitely one of his early times going to the comedy realm. Of course, he would go into the much more with Meet the Parents and other movies, but I don't think there's a lot of comedies he did in the 80s. I mean, technically, there's the Tina comedy before this, but that was like comedy, but, well, this is like comedy with action, I guess. So it's not flat out comedy. But it's definitely more comedy than action for this movie. Yaphet Kotto from Alien and The Running Man, he's in this as an FBI guy, and Robert De Niro steals his badge. And there's just certain moments that made me laugh. In the plane, he's fixing the badge to make it look like him, and there's a kid staring at him. He's like, how's that look? And the kid just like, looks fine. to me. I don't know why that made me laugh, because nowadays they'd be so over the top with the kid going, or Robert De Niro would say something like, if you tell everybody, I'll kill you. Just, which didn't work. I mean, Chris Farley did that in Beverly Hills Ninja, and that was funny. But that seems like that's something I would expect. And then the kid just being so nonchalant. So that's fine to me. I don't know why little things like that made me laugh. I don't know. Charles Grodin, which I don't know if he's still with us. He definitely doesn't work anymore. He was in some of the early Beethoven films. He's been in a lot of other stuff. And sadly, from what I understand, he has scars on his wrists from the handcuffs from this movie. Like, they dug into his skin so much so often, he's got permanent scars, which is too bad. But Charles Grove is a guy, he's an accountant, but sort of henpecking Robert De Niro the whole time. But also being sort of, I don't want to say nonchalant, but he's not annoying, he's not irritating, he's just picking at him. So that Robert De Niro goes, if you don't cooperate, you'll suffer from fistophobia. Because Charles goes like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm claustrophobic. And I forget the phobia. Because he's trying to get him on a plane, and Grodin says he can't fly. I forget what phobia that is. And so Robert De Niro's like, if you don't cooperate, we'll give you fistophobia. Dennis Farina, good character actor, nice to see him in this. He's the mob boss. So, like, the FBI and Yaphet Kotto try to find Robert De Niro and Grodin. John Ashton, the other bounty hunter, try to find them. The bad guys, which Dennis Farina is commanding, they're trying to get him. And in the meanwhile, Grodin's just, not this as in he's talking a lot, but just poking him. Like, you don't get $100,000 from me? What are you going to do with it? Oh, I'm going to open up a restaurant. And then Charles Grove's like, if I was accountant, and I know I'm not your accountant, but if I was accountant, I would have to strongly advise you against that. I mean, restaurants are a tricky business, and only $100,000. They just pick at them. Or when they're eating, and the tip, that's all you're going to leave? You just don't leave that? What? I did... What, they made their living off this. So I thought they worked very well together. Or they're on the bus. I got 2 words for you. Shut the fuck up. One of my favorite bits is Robert De Niro's pissed at Joe Pantoliano because, unbeknownst to both of them, a guy who's friends with Joey Pants is eavesdropping and telling the bad guys, because Robert De Niro's confused why they keep being found out. And he says this for shot value, but he's like, you either do this or we'll shoot him and dump it in the fucking swamp. And he listens to Grodin, he's like, and once in a while you get a little bit of action, but I would not call it an action movie. I mean, there's a bit where Robert De Niro shoots the tail end of a helicopter, which was pretty cool. Yes. John Ashton's a lot of fun. I loved him in the first 2 Beverly Hills Cop films. It was nice to see him again. And I believe this was I want to make sure I get the director right. Yeah, Martin Brest, the guy who directed the first Beverly Hills Cop. Danny Elfman did the music? I didn't realize it was Danny Elfman doing the music. Huh. Interesting. Did not know. Yeah, made for TV on Quick Look. There was another Midnight Run, Midnight Run Around, and Midnight Run for Your Life. Where Christopher McDonald played Robert De Niro's character. Which I'm thinking, why? I mean, if you see the end of the movie, you can see why he would not be a bounty hunter anymore. But yeah, I guess some made-for-TV movies with Christopher McDonald, which I guess they were successful enough. They made 3 of them. One was in 1994. The other was 1994. What'd they do? Make them all at the same time? Let me see. What year did this come out? 1994. Okay, never mind. I guess they weren't. They just all came out in the same fucking year. For some reason, in 1 year, they decided to make 3 fucking made-for-TV midnight runs with no Robert De Niro or Charles Grodin. Was that part of a TV show and it got canceled, so they just turned the episodes into movies? Okay, whatever. But, I mean, you have the journey with them trying to get back to where they need to go. There's the moment where he realizes Charles Grodin isn't afraid of flying. He was lying. If you're flying, you son of a bitch. You lied first. No, I did. You lied first. So, yeah, I don't really have much problems with the film. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was entertaining. It was fun. The two leads worked very, very well together. They're just a riot to watch together. And yeah, if you've never seen Midnight Run, this is not... People like, oh, Robert De Niro in a comedy. Although I like Meet the Parents, but some people, I don't know about... This one is very well done. I mean, it's from the director of Beverly Hills Cop. And... Oh, but he did Geely. Well, I didn't think Geely was the worst thing ever. And that was the last film he did because it killed his career. But I mean, the guy, I believe he also did Scent of a Woman, which that was more dramatic. But yeah, this one, De Niro and Grodin worked very well together. They have great chemistry. A lot of nice supporting cast members with, like I said, Des Farina and Yaphet Kotto and Joe Pantoliano and all those guys. It moved at a good pace. I mean, it's about 2 hours long, but I didn't feel bored at all. Because they're going cross country, so you get different locales and different situations where they're riding by train or they're riding by, well, trying by plane, or they're back to someone's truck. And so because of the changing locales, it never got boring to me. And the ending was a bit sweet. I thought it was a little bit of a sweet ending where you really get a feeling these two actually grew to care for each other when they go their separate ways. I thought that was fairly well done. But not hokey or corny. So, sorry, I keep thinking, Marvin, watch out! That was pretty idea. People who've never seen the film don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but if you check out the film, you'll see. It's worth it. It's worth a watch. If you've never seen it, it's a lot of fun. It's fairly funny and fairly entertaining. So, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.